Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Landy and you are watching Jazz Reissues. Before we get into the review of the album that we have selected to open the channel, I'm going to briefly introduce the channel to you guys. So this channel is all about the journey of jazz vinyl collecting, the beauty of the music, the history behind each one of these albums, and the thrill of finding the best sounding reissues out there. Sometimes will be entertaining only, sometimes will be educational, sometimes will be both, but always will be all about jazz. All right, if you guys like what you see here today, make sure that you subscribe and like the video, because that really helps us to get the channel off the ground. So without any further delay, let's get into the review of the album that we have selected to open the channel. The reason why I selected this album is because in this past week was the commemoration of the passing of Billie Holiday, one of the most impacting jazz performers in my opinion. It happened in July 17 on 1959. Our beautiful Lady Day, she passed away. She left a phenomenal legacy, and one of the albums that she left behind is this one. I could not find a better album, and we're going to get into that later on, to tribute her memory. But if you believe that there is a better album than this one, let me know in the comments if you have selected a different album for this type of event. The original album was released it was recorded in 1957. And it was released in 1958 by Verve Records. The copy that I'm going to review here today is a reissue of, I believe, 2023 from Acoustic Sound. And I have to say they did a phenomenal job with this copy in terms of presentation and sound quality as usual. So this one is a fantastic reissue, and I'm very happy that I have this copy here. So, few things that I want to mention about this reissue. One of the things that I noticed when you're looking for the information that they decided to include on the covers is that the backing band is not mentioned. So none of the members in fact, they don't mention anybody. There is no vocal, there is no drums, there is no nothing, there is no instrument. So, and because this album is a combination of both the style of Billie Holiday, and the backing group that creates that phenomenal mood. To me, is extremely important on both sides, and I will have taken the time and the space, because the space is there, to actually add the information about who the members are. But for whatever reason, they decided to go without it. So we're going to touch briefly on the members that are assisting Billie Holiday on this phenomenal recording. Another thing that I want to mention in this reissue is that there is a little mistake down here reading that. Let me get my glasses on, I apologize. Where is that? Yeah, there is a reissue. Supervisor, of course, Chad Kaysen, always doing a phenomenal job in Acoustic Sound. And the mastering, Ryan K. Smith and Sterling. That is a mistake. This reissue was mastered by Bernie Grundman. And I took the time to reach out to our friends at Acoustic Sound, and they were kind enough to get back to me on this. And here is the explanation. So that leaves out any speculation, any confusion about who did the mastering of this album. I believe that Ryan will have done a phenomenal job too. His work is second to nobody. But Bernie Grundman did a phenomenal job as well here. He's a classic, and you feel the style and the intensive attention to detail that he put into mastering each one of the records. And this one is not an exception. All right, the members of the band assisting in this recording: Billie Holiday, of course, on vocals, Harry Edison on trumpet. He's a long-term friend of Billie Holiday and had an opportunity to reunite with her, and Ben Webster, which is on tenor saxophone, also a long-term friend of Billie Holiday. The two of them had a chance to reunite here in this recording in 1957. On piano, Jimmy Rawls. On guitar, Bernie Kessel. Both of them, again, the whole performance is fantastic. Both of them, they shine fantastically in this album. Now, the rhythm section on this album is carried by bass and drum. They share two drummers and two double bass players. The drummers are Elvin Stoller and Larry Bunker, and on the bass you have Red Mitchell and Joe Mondragon. They alternate from song to song, and so you barely don't feel much of a difference. They carry the whole rhythm fantastically. Very, very good. Now, the selection of track that they have for this recording is fantastic. Both Billie and Norman Grant, they took the time to select probably some of the best jazz standard for this type of recording. There is a note here added by, the liner notes are written by Norman Grant himself, and there is a note here that he adds, and that explains probably a lot of why the album sounds or deliver this type of sentiment. But it says here, Billie is that rare artist who cannot and will not have anything to do with a song which history doesn't meet with her understanding. And you can feel that kind of connection, which is very, very strong. Now, one thing that I'm going to say about this album, this is not an album about vocalization perfection. That's not what this album is all about. This album, to me, is more about connection. It's more about experience. It's more about pain. It's more about love. It's more about confession. It's more about storytelling. This album, in my opinion, in this album, Billie nailed the art of telling a story rather than singing the songs. It's just telling with each one of the songs a part of her own story in a very sentimental and touchy way. So without any further delay, let's take a quick look to the selection of songs that they have here. In side A, they had Day In, Day Out, A Foggy Day, and A Star Falls on Alabama. Then you flip the album, and then you get One for My Baby. Oh my God, that one. Just one of those things, and I didn't know what time it was. In side 8, when the album opens, it opens with a bit of an odd beat. This is a catchy song. The piano is pretty much bouncing from side to side. Billie is telling the story it's like telling a story that you heard like 100 times, but every time comes with a different meaning. That's how she delivers this beautiful performance. There is a fantastic solo from Harry Edison, and Ben Webster has a little beautiful touch with the saxophone. Then we move into A Foggy Day. A Foggy Day is a song that you can feel a bit of a foggy voice. Does she has a defeated voice, as some people would mention? It has declined. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. If you listen to Billie Holiday in the 30s, she was incredible. Now, in 1957, she sounds like the voice has declined. The voice has been affected by a long lifestyle of a complicated lifestyle, I would say. But the way she performed is utilizing now the experience and utilizing now the skills of telling the stories the way and only she can do it that way. It's incredibly well put together. She did a phenomenal job in this album, and whether the voice is in a different tone that it used to be or not, it still doesn't take away the quality of the entire recording. This album is absolutely fantastic. So in this performance, in A Foggy Day, she slowed the whole performance down to a kind of a sad tone a little bit, and Ben Webster's saxophone here comes. I'm telling you, Ben Webster's saxophone sounds so powerful, so beautiful. It's just a perfect, I would say, melody and mood. It set the mood in a phenomenal way to just for Billie to deliver the lyrics in this song. And now we move to the next rendition, which is A Star Fell on Alabama. This one is very romantic, she feels vulnerable, very soft in this performance. She's kind of floating with the piano background, and then there is this incredible, powerful and beautiful saxophone from Ben Webster that is silky, smooth, nice, very touchy, and complement this rendition incredibly well. This performance almost, Ben Webster sometimes feel like he's stealing the show in this album. When he comes and play, is very, very, very impressive performance. This one is not exceptional. With this rendition, the first side of the album comes to an end. Now you are already in this very emotional state. You flip the album, and whether you get distracted, because this is the time that in modern life, this is the time when you're flipping the album, that you can get distracted. If the phone was ringing, you go and answer the phone. Now if somebody was asking you for something, you go and take care of that. And sometimes you fall off the mood. Not with this album. When you flip the album, the first rendition is One for My Baby and One More for the Road. This rendition is, I wouldn't say my favorite song of the album. I try not to have a favorite song because I don't want to affect your perception of the album. But oh my God, this rendition is absolutely incredible. It's so touchy. And remember, this copy, this version from Analog Production, it's so well done. They always take a lot of attention to detail. They put a lot of attention to detail in terms of the sound quality. This one is just perfect, fantastic, and it's so well put together that with the proper equipment, if you have the right equipment, the whole performance comes down to your listening area. So you have the members of the band playing with you and Billie delivering this performance, just telling the story. This is a confession. This rendition is like talking to the bartender. And at this point, you don't care anymore what people think of you when you are talking. You're more concentrated on delivering the message and talking and venting. And again, it's a confession. So touchy, so beautifully put together that is incredible. The piano in the background is barely playing. Is this notes like listening and answering with a simple note. Harry carries the whole performance with a very soft, touchy trumpet and make the whole melody float in front of you. Ben Webster with the saxophone lifted from the bottom, and right in the middle is this incredible performance with Billie singing and all the rest of the backing members performing there. This one is very touchy, and a performance like this will make you fall in love with this album, pretty much guaranteed. It's absolutely fantastic. Now again, I don't want to say that is my favorite performance, but this is the one that I continue singing. And I listen to this album at least 2-3 times a month. I'm in love with this album, it's beautiful. But it could be, catching, I find myself singing this song quite often. And I cannot sing at all, trust me on that. So now let's move on. Following to this incredible rendition, now you're going to be in a floating moment, wondering as the needle goes from one song to the other, and it's this dead silent moment in between. Is what Billie is going to come up with next time. And what does she do? Just one of those things. This rendition, this one is swinging. Now we're back to swing again, and it's catchy. The melody is bouncing, and it's the only performance in the entire album that I can perceive a soft, beautiful, short, momentary smile in the beautiful face of Billie Holiday. Just in that performance, she's having fun, she's enjoying herself, the band is catching up, and is a little bit of a refreshing and more catchy, more swinging kind of a performance. And that creates the perfect background for the final performance, which is I Didn't Know What Time It Was. In this final performance, Billie is it's just saying goodbye to us, but it doesn't feel sad. It feels more like a peaceful. There is a fantastic saxophone. This is what I call luxurious saxophone ending by Ben Webster. It just complements the whole thing fantastically, and the album just ends with that feeling of peace and happiness, and you want more out of this album. There are CD copies out there that have extra track that they call the bonus track. This is something that happened after the album was recorded this way and released. I should say the album was released this way, and it was perfect as it was released. Absolutely perfect. It leaves you with this very touchy, very I don't know, a bit of sadness. I don't know if I should say that, but it keeps you emotionally connected with this album. This is not just another album on my collection. This is a piece of American history right here, and this is the reason, one of the reasons why I selected this album. The commemoration of Billie Holiday on July 17 this past week, and also something that you guys should know. 1954, 71 years ago, also on July 17 was the first Newport Jazz Festival. And guess what? Billie was one of the performers in the first Newport Jazz Festival 71 years ago, also on July 17. And then on July 59, sadly, she passed away. The story said that her bank account only had 70 cents, that was the balance, 70 cents in the bank account. However, when the hospital workers came to remove the body from the hospital, they found $750 taped to one of her legs, which to me is pretty sad, because indicates that she, at the very end, she trusts no one, absolutely nobody, only herself. And this is how Lady Day walked out of her life. Her legacy, the legacy she left behind is absolutely fantastic, and I would love to know if you guys would have selected a different album to honor her memory. All right, this is all I have today. I highly recommend this album. It was phenomenal job by the Acoustic Sound, incredible pressing quality, and mastering by Bernie Grundman. The whole thing has been very well put together, and highly recommended. For those of you who have the album, I would love to hear your opinion about the album. For those of you who don't have the album, I highly recommend that you will not be disappointed with this album. At least this is just my opinion. Okay, this is all I have today. It's been a pleasure to have you guys. Remember, this is the first edition. We're going to come back again next week with another album. If you like what you guys see here in this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. That is free for you, but it helps us a lot to get the channel off the ground. It's been a pleasure to have you guys in my studio today. Thank you and take care. See you next week.